Okay, this is Standard 2, Objective 5. It's our last one. We're going to understand basic database interactions. I'm going to come down to my Start button. I'm going to click on Access 2016. Now, Microsoft Access is a database, and you have some templates here. These templates are pre-formatted for you. If you've never made one before, they are really handy. I'm going to open up the one called the Home Inventory. So here's my home inventory right here. When I click on it, it gives me an idea of what it's going to look like. I've got space for the item, category it's in, condition, when I acquired it, where it's at, and I can also attach some things. So let's create this database. It's going to open this up. Because it's a new file, sometimes we have to enable the content, particularly if it's something that came off of the internet. So when I look at this, I see my home inventory list right here. This is a table. If you understand that a table basically looks a lot like a spreadsheet, you understand what databases do. We can have multiple lists or tables, and these tables can be related to each other. So in the case of our library, we were talking about it before, if you have your home branch, they might have a listing of all of their books. The branch north of you, the North Branch, may have a listing of all of their books. Those two databases can be related together. You go into your home branch, if they don't have a copy of the book you're looking for, you can search the entire system that your county is on and find where that book is at. You can have a hold placed on it. You don't have to drive all around looking for it. Now I have the table here. Each one of these rows is called a field. And let's enter a new one. We're going to enter right here. And it's really convenient because it's bringing up a form for us. This form allows us to put in information and do it in a way that's going to be similar, so that I come up with the same information time after time. If I were entering information about students, I would want to know their name, where they live, their addresses, phone numbers, parents, contact information, that sort of stuff. So in this particular case, let's add something to my list. Okay, the first thing I'm going to add is my toaster. That may be little, but it is Brave, and if you get that reference, that's awesome. So I have my item listed here. The category, I have some predefined categories. It is an appliance. I could enter the manufacturer, the model. The model, like I said, is Brave. Serial number, purchase place, whether or not I have insured it, the date I acquired it. I can put down how much money I paid for it. I can also put down what condition it's in. It's in great condition. And finally, my location. I'm going to keep it obviously in the kitchen. So what I have done is I've entered some information on one of the rows, or one of the fields here. Excuse me, one of the records. It is a record because it's all the information about my toaster. When I close this, you can see that it's added itself now to the table. I have the toaster, the category it's in, its condition, and some other information. I'm going to take some time out and enter some more stuff from around my house, and when I come back, I'll have all this done, and I can show you how we can use reports and queries. Okay, I've entered a few more items from around the house, and you can see I've got just a collection here in different categories, in different condition, and in different locations throughout my house. Now, if I were a company keeping an inventory, or maybe I'm your school keeping a list of students, or back to our library example, keeping our listing of books that we have, all of those organizations are going to have a lot of data. In our sample, we just have a little bit. I'm going to open up some reports. Now, I have reports by category, by location, have a listing of all the assets I have. I've clicked on that, and it's pulled up a report. Now, it's done a couple of things. It went out and ran some queries. It was asking questions of the database. It was asking, what are the items? What's the condition they are in? What category are they in? What are they currently worth? And where are they at? If I look at these things, you can see that I have my printer. Paid $250 for it. I have no idea what it's worth right now. Maybe it's worth $100. I don't know. When I close this, it's going to update the value here that I have on my report. I can close this report. Let's look at some asset details in this report. So I have the asset details, I have the name of the asset, and all the information that I have on it. We can look at the things in my house on a couple of different reports. Let's open up the assets by category. So I have all of my appliances in one category, the electronics in another, furniture, jewelry, sports equipment, tools. So I can again break it down, and I can look at the information based on what I'm interested in finding. So assets by location, where have I got my stuff, so it's different categories. Databases are a pretty good way to look at a large amount of information.